Now, feedback is a very important leadership tool. And why should we give feedback? Well, of course, we give feedback to correct action, to make sure that we improve by correcting what is not good enough. Like, for instance, telling someone that when I saw you in the customer meeting, I think maybe you spoke a little bit too much and did not pay enough attention to the input from the customer. They had a lot of input that you maybe could have used more actively instead of talking too much yourself. So that could maybe be an idea to improve for the next time. Or more important, or at least as important, is to give confirming feedback, telling someone that what you did now was really good. I think the way you argued in the customer meeting was excellent. You really used the examples of the customer's everyday life and made it very relevant to the customer, I think. I really admire that, and I think you should do a lot more of it. So giving what we call confirming feedback is very effective. It says it's more effective than giving corrective feedback. So kind of underlying what is already good is very, very powerful. So don't put all the emphasis on things that doesn't work. Put at least as much emphasis on what does work. Now, all feedback is a gift. I don't use positive and negative feedback because I think all feedback is positive because it gives you a chance to improve, both through corrective and confirming feedback. And then there is another effect of feedback as well that we don't think about that often. And that is, by having feedback, you experience being seen by someone. And that is so important to everybody. You know, as kids, we used to run around asking for mommy or daddy's attention. Mommy, look at me now, see what I did. Or daddy, can you see me? And that never changed. I think that little child inside ourselves remains for the rest of the life. And people in the work situation as well need to be recognized. The worst thing we do to people in many societies is putting them away in a prison, and if they have behaved very badly, they will be totally isolated from the other prisoners as well. And that is the worst punishment we can give to people. So you understand, being seen, being recognized is a very basic need. I think the Swedish poem, Hjalmar Söderberg, poetry, said it very well in a poem where he said, "We want to be loved. Failing that, admired. Failing that, feared. Failing that, hated and despised. At all cost, we want to stir up some sort of feeling in others. Our soul abhors a vacuum. At all cost, it longs for contact." And I think this catches really the essence of how important it is to see others, and giving feedback is one way of doing it. So some leader says, as long as you don't hear anything, you can reckon everything is okay. But it doesn't work like that. We need to hear it. Very often, most people complain they are not having all the feedback that they want to have. Even leaders at a very high level think and long for more feedback. So why aren't we more generous in telling each other what we see, and whether that can be learned from by doing it differently or by doing more of it the same way, creates a learning opportunity for the employees, and that is a gift. So be generous. Do it maybe every day, at least not once a year or twice a year. That's by far enough. Make sure you see your employees, make sure you give them the feedback that they need.